Clear.
We're still left asking many questions. The experts seem to have conflicting points of view. And that is why I just had to find out. I just had to know the truth about AIDS.
I am getting to know the sexual history of any women I date. Plus, I am also working a lot, which is creating an involuntary abstinence in my life.
I'm having the gentlemen that I go out with use rubbers.
I feel the best way to stop AIDS is to live by Bible standards, and that would be staying in a monogamous relationship and leading a clean and moral life.
I'm standing in a singles bar. It's empty now.
I thought he was just really good looking, and he had something about him. He made me laugh. The honeymoon was absolutely amazing. We went to Honolulu for 2 weeks. We were so in love. Things were really good up until about the first year. He told me that he'd had several homosexual encounters. Next thing I know, he tells me he has AIDS, and that I should get checked for it too. So I did, and I have the AIDS virus.
Within 5 years, Kinsey's theories of sexuality were taken up by his #1 public disciple, Hugh Hefner. Hefner promised that he would popularize the Kinsey theories through his new magazine, Playboy.
We use rope, we use chains, we use whips, just like the people sort of make jokes about, but we use them in ways that bring people closer together rather than move people further apart or designed to injure necessarily. So there's anything that you can find in a hardware store, we know how to play with real well.
So why shouldn't we be allowed to do cunnilingus and fellatio with children? I mean, there's nothing immoral about it. Fundamentalist, organized religion, they've created a phobia, taboo around it, but there's no scientific basis whatsoever that argues against pedophilia.
There is no way of reasoning with these people who are bent on worshiping sex as their god. Mass hysteria could then threaten to engulf us for fear of contagion. School will be conducted through television into individual and private homes. Abandoned military bases and hospitals will be converted into AIDS camps. With the current doubling every year of AIDS cases, we could see 50 million Americans, roughly 20% of the population, dead or dying of AIDS by the year 2000. Our economy would be in shambles, and we will have lost our position as a world leader. Militaristic nations, which will have undertaken aggressive measures to curb the spread of AIDS among their population, will loom on the horizon as our future masters. Is this the future you want? Radical homosexual groups like Queer Nation were present to remind their heroes, Bill and Hillary Clinton, that they must now keep their campaign promises to the gay community. The band played music as in the other presidential galas, but if you look closely, you will see men dancing with men, women dancing with women, and sometimes you will see species of the human race that you probably had no idea existed.
This is so high. This is so high.
While our camera crews were in Washington during President Clinton's inauguration, they brought home some interesting footage concerning another radical group called NOW, the National Organization for Women. I often jokingly refer to them as the National Order of Witches.
The fundamentalist right is probably more powerful out there in the grassroots than they ever have been. They have more money, more grassroots organization that none of us can match because it's based on megachurches that are funded from all kinds of sources. And we know we've got a terrific battle.
You've got that right, dear lady, or whatever you are. How to have oral sex with a man with a man, paid for with tax dollars. This booklet and many like it. What can we Americans do about it? Well, first of all, we can pray. 2 Chronicles 7:14.